Abusiafo. Aha, eye Abusiafo TV. E dia kwantum komo na e dey brem hu afie pise ya. Na je se ne yakoso wa kwantum nyina no. E dey ba brem. Ene me ta Connecticut abonten so. Eye East Hartford. Abusiafo. Ye dey East Hartford Mayor Ebechere. Afeso so no mudi ni siso no. Encha ye bia. Enti de ne beche Africa fo. Ne ye bisa ne se edien ene wo ma Africa fo. Afeso so no. Na yenso African fo no. Nya yenso ye wo ma no. Na yenso ye da so ni. Ye wia ye na tonsa edidi. Amana ye fefefe. Ene Mayor obedi aduane Africa fo aduane. Se wate ase abusiafo. Na woni bibi ye be koso bia so so. Ye betwa ede ego hamam. Amama hwa moni so ade. Abusiafo, me am di juma di ebremo. Meeting adi afiapi. Stay tuned. Abusiafo, Abusiafo TV. And then Connecticut. Abonten so East Hartford. The whole Africans work Connecticut. East Hartford, Ababeshia, East Hartford Mayor. And the corner Marin, yeah. And not saying Yanina, but we said it. Na Yanina at a tree and come more. And said the way some who cast a park or na because African for a East Hartford here and now Manchester, you know, other cities, you know. Yenina eba bubum niya besia Mayor na or East Hartford. And so for mumianko inside na yanko hwenia ebe free aba. Stay tuned. Ye basesia.
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to be seen. Doing a great job, guys.
I'm good. Hey, good job.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. We'll appeal to all of you to have your name signed at the phone desk for us, please. It's very important, please. Have your
Hello. Hello. How are you? Welcome. And that's Connor. Connor.
How are you?
I'm good, Connor.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Back in action.
I know, back in action.
All right, let me see.
That's one. That's about a pen. You coconuts. You coconuts.
And I do want to thank the team for starting such an organization where we can feel heard, where we can feel represented, where we have hope and support for each other. So tonight I'd like to introduce the dignitaries that we have, and I'll start by recognizing the Mayor of East Hartford, Mr. Martin. Thank you so much for being here. We do appreciate your presence. I also want to recognize him as the youngest East African mayor, East Hartford's mayor ever chosen. So I want to recognize that. I also want to recognize the police, Chief of Police, Mr. Mark Hawkins. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. We also want to congratulate you in your new position and also recognize you as the first Black police chief in this town. That gives me so much hope when I see, men like you, because I know that my two boys will also have good opportunities where they are accepted and they can be anything as long as they believe in themselves.
Yes.
Amen. I also want to recognize Sarah Morgan. She's the librarian of East Hartford. Thank you so much. And Rollins B. from Health and Human Resources. Thank you so much for your presence. And Kwani. Thank you so much for being here. I also want to recognize all the African, all the clergy leaders. Anybody who's a clergy? Thank you for being here. And Harry as well, East Hartford Town Council. And I'm sorry, I'm missing one person's name.
Oh, Courtney Collins, East Hartford Parks and Rec, and East Hartford Black Caucus. Courtney Collins, East Hartford Parks and Rec, as well as East Hartford Black Caucus.
Thank you very much. That's a wonderful, amazing team. I also want to recognize all the African community leaders. Anybody who's a leader? I see one back there. Thank you very much. And also recognize each and every one of you for coming. Anybody from Africa? Any Americans in this place? Thank you all for being here.
Okay, and we are here to see our queen, Nana Adomach Ekuya is also here, a queen mother from Ghana. Let's welcome Nana Adomach Ekuya. She just came in. Nana, thank you. And I'm taking this opportunity. My sister come. She said, do you think I can be an MC? I said, you can do it. And you did it. Let's give her a hand of applause. Yeah, because this job, if you make up your mind, you can do it, and you are doing it a good job. So she is the one that I'm doing the job with her. Thank each and everyone here tonight. I welcome the chairman and the president of YACO, African Community Resource Center, to come and give us a short brief before the Mayor of East Hartford will talk. So I'll give the mic to the chairman.
Thank you, everyone. I think you left another page, so let's do this. Oh, you did? Okay. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for coming. My name is Stephen Agbo, the CEO and the founder for African Community Resource Center and International. when my sister was introducing, it touched me. I feel it that I have achieved what I wanted to achieve. But when she was talking, it's like, wow, this is a dream. Dream come true. So I welcome everyone. On behalf of my team, I say welcome. Enjoy yourself today. Network, have fun, enjoy your food, enjoy the presentation, and at the end of the day, you go home with excitement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman of ACRC. And I know today we are going to have a free talk or free show. So I will welcome the Mayor of East Hartford, as he is the main reason why we are all here, because he said we want to meet all the leaders and talk to us.
Thank you, Chinaman. That's how I met him. I didn't know he was Peter until a couple minutes ago. But I guess Chinaman's here. Before I begin, and I know we're going to get the technology going, so I can show you guys a community hall presentation that last Thursday we had presented to the entire community, about 150 people who had showed up. And it's an update on all the great things that are going on in East Hartford, in addition to the new things that I want to bring on to our plate. Before I do that, I want to shout out Mr. Brian Hall here, a member of the East Hartford Black Caucus and former Board of Ed chairman. Mr. Brian. Yep. Also want to recognize Ms. Kathy Flippen back there. Also big supporter of East Hartford, big supporter of East Hartford Black Caucus, mover and shaker in town. Also want to highlight Mr. Shelton here, who instrumental at the Riverside Health and Rehabilitation Center, taking care of those residents, making sure they feel comfortable. Glad we could attend that today as well. And so as we get this presentation, I'm here, and while working with both McDavid and Stephen on the importance of bringing us all together, and it truly is what they said. I want to make sure that you guys know exactly who your mayor is at the end of the day. And I think that's important because there are decisions that I make with your tax money, I make on your behalf, that have a direct impact on your quality of life. And I think you need to know who that person is and what are those decisions that they're making, right? And for me, I want to know who you are. And what's important of that is I want your feedback, especially when I show you all these great projects that we're doing, these initiatives that we're undertaking. And I want your feedback to make sure that everything we're doing is making East Hartford feel like your place of home as well. And there's something I tell everybody. East Hartford is the second most diverse town in the state of Connecticut. That's huge. And that's a strength of ours and something we should be celebrating every single day. And I think we all know we have a very large Ghanaian population here in East Hartford. And in addition to a Ghanaian population, we have 70 other countries that call East Hartford home. And so it is my goal, and it is the goal of the members of the East Hartford Black Caucus and all of my team members that are sitting here today to make sure that the services we provide, the people who provide those services, and that the town itself feels like home for all these different ethnicities and cultures and countries trying to come out. Like I said, I'm looking forward to going literally person to person and meeting you and shaking your hand and making sure that you know what I'm about and what decisions I'm going to make as mayor. I'm really excited to show you the presentation once we get it going. But this is what community should look like. And someone had mentioned it, other communities aren't doing this. And I've been a past town councilor, and I've also was the chief of staff to the former mayor. And neither of those administrations did this either. And so what you're seeing is what is the beginning of the new East Hartford. And as I start this presentation, I affirm to you that 2024 is going to be, it feels too good to be true, but it isn't. This is the reality of it. East Hartford is on the up and up. We've got energy, we've got new people in leadership positions, we've got more media attention than we've ever had, we have more community buy-in than we've ever had, and so I promise you 2024 is going to be East Hartford's year. And so with that, hopefully we'll get to the presentation. people, whether they live here or not, to provide these services to you in the community. So I just want to applaud and thank my team for coming out here today, and they'll be ready to answer any questions you guys have at the end of this. And so when I campaigned on the promise that I would focus on 5 different areas. One being economic development, equity through action, quality of life, event sustainability, and Main Street revitalization. And I'm going to touch on our biggest one being economic development. And most of the projects you're going to see touch on economic development, and then I'll be able to expand on the other areas of focus after. But economic development is the #1 priority, and I'll tell you why. And I've been very honest with everybody while I was campaigning and even after mayor, is that I am not in a position, probably in my first and probably in my second term, to lower taxes. Taxes are not going to go down yet. We're not in a position for them to go down yet. I'm going to show you what direction we're headed in so that we can do that. But at the end of the day, we're in a unique situation in East Hartford where the tax burden is heavily reliant on residential property. And for those of you who are homeowners or pay car taxes or any of that, you're probably feeling that. And so for me, even though our taxes are high, I always remind residents that East Hartford is a full-service community. We have no volunteer services here. Everything is professional, everything is paid for, everything is 24/7. And at the end of the day, I think even in Connecticut, we pay for convenience. It's the convenience of putting your trash out to the road and someone coming to pick it up. It's the convenience of blowing your roads out to your leaves out to the curb and someone coming to back them up. You don't have to bring that stuff to the transfer station for you. Someone comes and does that. It's the convenience of coming to town hall and once again being able to service you from when you're a baby to when you're a senior. And I'm really proud that East Hartford is a full service community and that we can take care of anybody or anybody under the sun with everything that we already provide. And so for me, you know, way back when, for anyone who's been here your whole life, you know that Pratt & Whitney, big employer in town, also one of our biggest taxpayers. The amount of taxes that they were paying 32 years ago when I was born is significantly less than the taxes that they're paying today. And what happened is, as we started to lose that tax revenue from Pratt & Whitney and some of our bigger employers, that tax burden shifted to the residents. And that's why we're in the situation we are today. And so what you're gonna see is an effort to try to reverse course and to try to aggressively pursue economic development in an effort to grow our grand list, bring in additional tax revenue, and try to even out that tax burden between the residents and the commercial properties. And just being honest with you, as you all know, development does not happen overnight. It takes time, but with everything we got going on, I think in the next 3 to 4 years, you're gonna see a totally new East Hartford. So, let's run into the projects. So many of you may be aware of the hotel on Robert Street, 363 Robert Street. Used to be the old Ramada Inn, had Molitas attached to it. So that is actively under construction right now. It's going to become, it is going to include a Starbucks drive-through. And as I mentioned, that is currently under construction. And if you drive by, it's already starting to look better than it has for the past couple of years. So that's a really successful project that's going on. On Main Street, you guys may know of Church Corners Inn, 860 Main, right there at the end of Connecticut Boulevard. That problem property was truly a problem property. It was a one-bedroom unit building. It had the club on the bottom. We had a lot of bad panhandling out there. We had people who were really suffering from physical and mental disabilities. It was taking up a lot of the town's resources to be able to get there, help these people combat some of the violence that was going on in the building. The town back in 2022 ended up buying the building. We did shut it down. We successfully relocated most of the tenants out. And we have just recently rewarded a redevelopment RFP to a company called Parker Benjamin, who's going to reconvert the building into 24 units of 24 apartments, with 2 being affordable housing. And on that bottom space now, it'll be 3 separate commercial buildings right out on Main Street. If anyone is familiar with Charlie's Pizza Restaurant here in East Hartford at the corner of Governor and Prospect, right across from that, there's just an old dilapidated property. I believe it's an old gas station. That is being converted into a Noble gas station that will also include a fast food restaurant, a coffee shop, a convenience store, and an ice cream shop. So it's a project that's turning a eyesore into something that's truly going to be useful in that area. And that should be going under demolition this spring of 2024. All right, so next up we have the old Showcase Cinema. Who's been here long enough to have gone to Showcase Cinema? I have not. I know it was always there, but I don't think I ever went to it. So, so you're very aware of where it is. You may be aware the town took this over, I want to say back in 2018. It was some time ago. We ended up demoing the building so that we could provide a blank slate to a developer. We do have, we are contracting with Jasco Apartments, who are planning on building 9 buildings, over 400 units of market rate apartments. It is going to be an amenity-rich development that's going to include a gym area, simulated golf, party and meeting rooms, as well as a dog area. We are moving forward with this project where they will be closing on the project in March of 2024, and they will have a shovel in the ground of April of 2024. So if you can see this trend, 2024, lot started, which is good. So very exciting, we have the Founders Plaza development. Founders Plaza is right on our river where our boat launch is, Great River Park. We have the River Point condos that are down there, but a lot of empty surface parking space down there. A lot of vacant buildings, a lot of potential, right? To really spearhead a transformative development that moves East Hartford from this blue class working town to a true destination that the region can visit. The region would now know East Hartford for. And so this is a massive development in the very early planning stages. It is a mixed use of commercial, residential, medical office, retail, and entertainment. They are responsible for building Blueback Square and stores downtown. So a very reputable developer who is actually very interested in the site, despite the fact that we still have demo work to do, and we still have tenants to relocate. And I wish you could, we are gonna be there until about April. April, we'll be moving back to Town Hall. That project is on budget and on schedule. So just wanna let you guys know, April 2024, we will be back in Town Hall. And we're likely gonna hold a big open house for Town Hall as well. It's an effort to get the community in the Town Hall, see the new services, meet the people who are providing you these services. We've reconfigured some departments so that we can create a better experience for residents and employees. So when that information is out, I'll make sure you guys know about it, but please come and see the new Town Hall and see how you can access these services that we're providing. Almost there. So we have the Veterans Memorial Clubhouse off of Sunset Ridge. We have about $6.8 million to renovate this space. It is historically been used as a banquet meeting space facility run by our Park and Recreation Department. We actually put out a RFP for a public-private partnership to have someone else, someone who is an expert in running a banquet facility, run it. We did get a response from South Windsor's Maneli's. Maneli's is looking to, I think, essentially leave South Windsor and come to East Hartford and operate this space full time. So we're just in the very early stages of developing the scope for construction, but that's kind of where we're at with that. And the Veterans Memorial Clubhouse, I can't tell you how many people have either had a wedding there, have had a Sweet 16, have had a bar mitzvah, have had a graduation, have had a family reunion, anything. Baby showers and all of it. So it's a true staple in the community that we just want to make sure the right operator is operating it and that we get the building back into the condition that it needs to be. Project very passionate to me is bring a youth sports and community center here at East Hartford as well. And as I campaign, I hear constantly, what are we doing for our youth? What do our youth have to do here in East Hartford? And I hear it loud and clear. And we want to give them a space, a one-stop shop where they can get all their resources, whether it be sports, whether it be counseling, whether it be teamwork, whether it be games. We're looking at esports as well. But we want to bring a true youth sports and community center here at East Hartford that encompasses all the needs that our youth can get in one place. What we're currently doing, working with our town council, is we're kind of just studying the issue for right now. So we have 2 studies out. One's a feasibility study just to kind of tell us where this thing should live, how big it should be, what its estimated cost should be, and a little bit of the design and programming. And then in addition to that, we're doing a needs assessment to look at our current youth programming, whether it be in the Board of Ed, Park and Recs, Youth Services, the library, and trying to identify if there's any gaps in the services that we provide and how this facility can hopefully fulfill those gaps. So we're just doing our due diligence right now, but a youth sports facility, community center, I think is something that the community is going to ask for quite a bit. So I just want to let you guys know, you may be aware, we had, the town had engaged with Sci-Fi Fiber Networks who was gonna be working to bring high-speed fiber internet to every household and business in the town of East Hartford. And their fiber was going to be in the ground. And I think those of us who are from New England, we know that with inclement weather, it's probably better to have your utility infrastructure in the ground so that it doesn't get knocked out during a storm. And I think we also know, after COVID, how heavily reliant we became on internet services. But I unfortunately have to share with you that that project is currently on hold. They did get through about 70% of work zone 1. We are divided into 7 different work zones, so there's definitely quite a ways to go with this project. But in addition to Sci-Fi, we just want to make you aware of another option, and that's GoNet Speed. The city is working with GoNet Speed. You may have seen their trucks out there. They do have a contractor, it's Rocky Mountain Fiber. So if you see a truck out there that says Rocky Mountain Fiber, don't be alarmed. They're a GoNet Speed subcontractor. They're stringing all their fiber on the poles. So they're not hitting as many locations as the Sci-Fi was going to hit, offer additional tax money. None of them grow the grand list. And so, when we think about economic development, right? It's a couple of things, right? It's the ability to make additional tax revenue, but then there's also the economic development that gives you something to do, and also gives you a reason to want to spend your money. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I've heard that on the campaign trail quite a bit, that residents want to spend their money here in East Hartford. Like, what more could you want? You know what I mean? Like, that's great. We just have to listen to them and make sure that I give them a reason to spend that money here. And so the projects you're going to see help to create experiences that people want to come to East Hartford for. And so both of these projects, which is a pollinator pathways and a sunflower garden maze, really reimagined DePietro Park, which is right there at the corner of Silver Lane and Forbes. You guys know what I'm talking about? Big empty open park right now. Just, beautiful open green space, but I want to reimagine it. I want to create a destination there. And so what we want to do is create pollinator gardens in the sunflower maze in an effort to promote pollination. I think we know how important the bees are, the birds and the bees, and our pollinators are. Hey Tia, real quick, got to shout out Tia Woods, past treasurer for the East Hartford Black Caucus, also town constable. So if you owe taxes, Tia might get you. She will get you. But when I look at these pictures, and I wish you guys could see them, but this becomes a place now with these beautiful gardens, the beautiful sunflower maze, where you can come and take engagement photos, maybe wedding photos, maybe graduation photos or family photos. Imagine if you no longer had to go to Wickham Park in Manchester or Elizabeth Park in Hartford, and you said stay right here in East Hartford and get that same experience. That's what we want to create here. And for me, this is kind of funny, and this is like me being my youth. Our population is trending younger. It is. As we look at our housing data, we look at our data from our schools, our population is definitely trending younger. And so, all the other projects I just talked about, it's kind of the new one that I'm putting on our plate. And so what I want to do is I want to just highlight a couple of the great things on Main Street, talk about our initiatives, and then show you the Bissell Street vision, which you're going to love. So we have our Raymond Library that's on the on Main Street that our library director Sarah Morgan programs, and that's a phenomenal, one of the best looking libraries in the state. We have our Town Green or Alumni Park where we hold almost all of our major town sponsored events. Its use has actually significantly increased over the past couple of years. And then our very historic Center Cemetery established in 1709. Where if you ever get a chance to walk through that cemetery, you'll see some of the oldest headstones in the area. And it's just incredible history that we have right here in East Hartford. And so we're gonna do a couple things on Main Street. For one, I wanna change the first impression that you get on Main Street. And I think that starts with streetscape improvements. We need new lighting, we need new sidewalks, we need new brick, we need to reconfigure the road in its entirety. Many of you who drive down Main Street know that Main Street travels way too fast. And so it's not safe, it's not walkable. We're gonna continue to work with DOT as a part of their Greater Hartford Mobility Study improvements to try to get in center islands with aesthetically pleasing plantings, bump outs. We're gonna decrease the amount of lanes and decrease the width of lanes, maybe even achieve some diagonal parking on the side so that we can get some outdoor dining as well. So we're gonna continue to do that. And then the one thing I'm very excited to show you is our graphic. And if you look at it, I want to convert it into East Hartford's version of its own Pratt Street. If anyone's been on Pratt Street in Hartford, It is a pedestrian-only street that is programmed throughout the year. Not even talking about all the businesses that they now have on the side, but just the program that they do, whether it be the dance fest, the art festivals, food trucks, any of that. I want to bring that to East Hartford. And so, like I said, I wish you could see this photo because it creates just that. It shuts down the road, it brings in outdoor furniture, plantings, murals, beautiful lighting. It gives all these young people a reason to take a picture of themselves here. And that's what we want to create, you know, and we also have this massive movie theater, the old Eastwood movie theater that abuts that road. I had a vision of, why don't we convert that into like a Parkville Market East sort of model? And if you've ever been to Parkville Market, it's a collection of small businesses, boutique shops, restaurants, breweries. We can have that here too. We don't have to go to other towns for that. We need to create that kind of stuff here. And so if we can create that, right, off of Bizzle Street, which I think would be the true catalyst for other development along Main Street, East Hartford becomes known for this. East Hartford becomes known for its sunflower maze, becomes known for its Veterans Memorial Park at Bicentennial Park. People now from other towns have a reason to come here, and our own residents have a reason to stay here. And that is what we want to achieve at the end of the day. And so, all right, everybody, so that is the projects that I want to share with you. But as I mentioned, I want to just touch on my other 3 areas of focus because they're extremely important. And so, equity through action. And I had mentioned to you guys that we are the second most diverse town in the state of Connecticut, which I think is something to be proud of. But what I want to make sure is that that diversity, or at least on our side, we're not creating barriers from all those people being able to access our services. And so, for me, what I want to achieve at first is eliminating language as a barrier. And I think we can do that today, if not tomorrow, you know? And so we have predominantly, we're English and Spanish speaking, and we obviously have other languages too, but Spanish and English are probably the highest spoken languages in East Hartford due to our population. And so with that, regardless of that, we have undertaken technology and software to make sure that our website, to make sure that our newsletter, to make sure that our social media can be converted or translated into over 100 different languages. Wow. And that is just a first step to try to eliminate language as a barrier. In addition to that, we are making a great push to make sure we have bilingual speaking staff in all of our departments. So that you can talk to someone, you can look at them, you'll know that they come from where you come from, they share the same experiences, they speak the same language, and it just makes you that much more trusting and comfortable with your local government, which I think is very important. In addition to that, want to make sure that all of our documentation, so as soon as you walk into a department's office, all the documentation to access our services should be translated, or at least should be translated in real time by a staff member into a language that you can understand, so that you can understand what we're having you apply to, what directions we're giving you so you can access our services. We cannot let language be a barrier to interacting with our town staff. And we found that in many places to be a barrier, and so I want to make sure that we focus on that. So quality of life. Quality of life has to do with how we operate in town hall. And it goes back to what I told you, that unfortunately I would not be able to lower your taxes in probably my first or second term. But in lieu of being able to lower your taxes, and you should be saying this to me, is that I need to at least show you the worth of what you already pay for. And what that means is looking at the services we already provide. And we provide a host of services that you pay a lot of money for. And for me, it's my goal to make sure that what we are providing is as efficient and effective as possible, and that you are getting the best bang for your buck. And so for me, it's to look at what we already do and making sure that that's as solid as possible. And then lastly, event sustainability. We've brought on more events than we've ever had in East Hartford, with the addition of a Memorial Day Parade, a Latin Fest, and a Juneteenth Festival. It has kind of put some of our departments to their capacity. We've expanded our farmers market as well, which has also put us at capacity. But these are all great events that not only bring East Hartford pride and celebrate the different cultures that call East Hartford home, but just like our farmers market, there's a ton of people that rely on that fresh produce every day. And so for me, I can't let these die. Our Memorial Day Parade already died once. We just brought it back. You know what I mean? And so we need to figure out a sustainable way to keep these going. I think we're going to do that through hiring an events coordinator whose sole job will be to coordinate these events, coordinate with vendors, the community, and sponsors as well. And so that is what I have for you, my friends. That's what's going on in East Hartford. And I thank you for your time today. point, happy to take any questions. Like I said, I apologize. I wish you guys could have seen the pictures, but we will have them here if anybody wants to see them after. Yep, absolutely. Yep. So-
Anybody has a question for the governor and the mayor? No, it's good, you know. Yeah, that says he's going to be a future governor of Connecticut. Yes. For all the good things you just said, it's a prophecy I'm giving to you. So it wasn't a mistake. That was a prophecy. Since we have our clergies here, they all support me, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Anybody has any question?
Agro. I'm going to speak my local language. Me question ya, me woma irwa ni munyamfo ni se. Obobo ne ma no so bebre no, ni nyina akoma East Hartford. Eye yedana se. Na ye wa hai sebe Africa for. E dia ben enhyehyeye e na omo wo mayen. If we say abri nyina no. Yedi agro a na omo shentale tuntumu na omo abestop ye visi ya hu odede. Ti asra omo pepa bi mayen. A yedi agro a ye ni beka. Na masem busa me wo ema papa ni munyamfo ya.
Good question.
All right, Mr. Mayor. The question to you is
Yes.
that you were talking basically about East Hartford. For the African community, when they do go out to programs or functions, at times the men in blue, kind of hustle them. So her question is, are you going to give a place that the African community can call their own, their home, and hold events and gatherings over there? That is a question. But then she also applauds you for your vision.
Thank you. Great question. So, it's funny it came from you. We just talked about it. That's funny. So what I want to do is just step back real quick, because, right, if when you ask me the question, what am I going to do for the African community? I'm going to start with this, asking you, what do you need from me? You know what I mean? You've seen our vision. You've seen the things that we want to do. And I can tell you we're involved in the Black Caucus. I can tell you all the work the Black Caucus is doing. But at the end of the day, I'm here to hear from you and to tell me if I'm missing anything, you know? And what if I'm missing is a dedicated center for the African community to feel comfortable, get all their resources, kind of just like I'm doing with the youth sports facility, a one-stop shop for you to get everything that you need. We started having this conversation yesterday with Koga, and we are actively trying to assist in trying to find that center and see what's out there in East Hartford, see what's available. The town will always be at your assistance for that kind of stuff. We're here to help. We're here to, whether it be hold your hand, walk you along the way. But the conversation was brought up to me yesterday. I've already started thinking of some spots that we might be at exposure to or contract with, see if it's available. So I am dedicated to helping the African community here in town any way that you need in my capacity. And like I said, I'm happy that the conversation's already started already.
How comes that there's one there?
Sorry, jumping up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, my name is Mohammed. I'm from the East Hartford community, one of the communities here in East Hartford. It's called Masjid Bilal. We've been here around for almost 20 years. We've been renting a property, which we started very, very low. We used to go to houses to pray every month. And then we established that, we rented a place and we have grown the place. Now we bought a place, we're trying to get the town to approve it for us. It's been hectic. So, is there any way is there anything Assembly that can do for us to at least get us through? Right now, we don't have anywhere to practice. Ramadan is right next month. So right now, we are basically homeless when it comes to prayers. So anything you can do for us at this moment. Thank you.
And so he just walked out, but Reverend Thomas from Royal House Chapel in Silverland, the same sort of difficulties with the town. And this comes up every once in a while. And that's another reason why it's so important that you meet me, you know who I am, you know how to get a hold of me, you know how to get a hold of all these other town employees as well. I would say you and I gotta talk. I gotta know exactly what's going on, and I gotta be your advocate, you know? And so if there's a process we're not following, if we're making it unnecessarily difficult for you to do business here in town, I need to know about that, because the culture of the town starts at the top. It starts with me, it starts with my directors, and it trickles its way down. And so if there's someone who's not showing you the utmost customer service, I need to know about it so that I can address that immediately. So if you're having any difficulty, you now have me. I'm gonna give you my card at the end of the day, and then tell me what's going on, and I'll make sure we move it along.
Hello, how are you? My name is Tia Woods. What I would like to see as a U.S. citizen, as an American, you know how we have the Juneteenth? I would love to see, because I'm sitting here and I'm looking around, and I'm sure there's many different languages. There's so many things that I don't even know about, and I am who I am. So I would love to see some type of event held inside of the center, somewhere, some way that we can learn about our culture as Americans, because there's so much that we don't even know. And there's a big disconnect between us because we don't know the things that we should know, that we weren't taught, but I'm not gonna get into all that. But I would like to see something like that, a big event, you know, just like the Juneteenth held with nothing but different things that I can learn. It's coming up. All right.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
We thank God that we have a young mayor who has a vision. Yes. Yes, we love you so much. My question is, I can see that you have so many development coming up, and that is great. But I'm wondering where you're going to get the funds to do all that, because I don't want my taxes to go up.
That's a great question. That's a great question. That's a hard one too. There's always a saying that you gotta pay more for development, right? But so as I had mentioned, a lot of the projects that I had inherited or that I was a part of, and then I'm seeing to the finish line, many of the old projects I mentioned to you was either through American Rescue Plan Act money, which all the towns got. Like I said, we had gotten 24 million of it, majority of that going to our town hall. In addition to that, we have past state bonding authorizations from years ago that has just been money that's been unspent. And so we have other ways though to incentivize development. And right, we've spent money to buy Showcase Cinema when we had to. We spent money to buy Church Corners Inn, and that was with a state grant as well, the CIF money, Community Investment Funds. And we also spent money to buy Silverland Plaza, which was past state bonding that we were authorized to spend. And so the money that we're using for these economic developments, either to buy the property, demo the property, or offer a tax abatement, tax incentive to a developer to then build it using their own funds. So the sad reality of it is that here in Connecticut, if we don't offer a tax abatement or some sort of incentive, they're just gonna go to the next community that does. And so for us, we have to balance what can we afford with how important it is of getting a property developed. And for a property like Silver Lane, that has spent that, or has looked the way it has looked for 30-something years, I think the priority is to get that property developed. But we don't want to do it at the expense of having to price you out of your home. You know what I mean? Because your taxes are too high. So the funding that we use is path authorization. It's no new money as of right now. And all the new projects that I want to put on our plate, I actually don't have funding for. I wish I did. But what we will do is we'll get them shoveled. But we pursue grants. It is actually someone's sole job to apply for grants, apply for state, federal funding. So we try to leverage many variables of funding as possible so that there's not such a hit on the taxpayer. It's a great point though.
My name is Anthony. I'm a young pastor. I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. And before I go to my question, allow me to congratulate you for nomination.
Thank you.
And I want to concur with people who said, the Bible said in Joel chapter 2, verse 28, in the last day, the young people have vision. And I'm very proud with what we have vision to make to the community here. But I would like to concur with my sister here who talks about the connection between we Africans and the Americans. I believe that we can learn from each other. One of the examples in Canada, there is what they call an event where the Canadians and Africans are coming together and they learn from each other. You can learn from our culture, from our way of dressing, from our way of eating. And there are so many Americans that they would like to visit the African lands. But what if we start something right here and learn from here, and that give them that idea of going on the land? So I think there is a need for us to have that day when we come and celebrate each other and learn from each other. It's something that you think you can accommodate in your vision. Thank you very much, Mayor.
No, that's phenomenal. So what I ask is, let's do that together. You know what I mean? Let's do it together. Let's not let the town be the only one to plan that. If anybody wants to be on that planning committee, we can start planning tomorrow. You know what I mean? So that's how serious I am about these, and how serious I am about making sure that any event the town plan has the true input of the community and what you want to see. And you really said it best. That you just spoke to what the strength of East Hartford is. You know, you have 70 different countries that call East Hartford home, right? Imagine what you get exposed to here in East Hartford that you don't get exposed to in other communities, especially communities that are predominantly white, predominantly Hispanic, or predominantly black. But here in East Hartford, you get an exposure to all those different cultures, ethnicities, traditions, foods, dresswear, all of it, that leaves you with a more worldview than you've ever had before. That is the strength of East Hartford, and I agree with you, my friend. We need to put that into some sort of celebration so that we can formalize that and make sure people know it's here in East Hartford. So that's a great idea.
Thank you. It was a great presentation. So I came to this country over 20 years ago. I used to live in East Hartford. Now I'm a Windsor resident.
Oh, man.
But I have poured into East Hartford so much. Volunteering time, a lot of things. I come to church here, I shop here, I do everything here. So I have a wedding and event planning business. What are you going to do to move me from Windsor and open a business, even though I live in Windsor, open a business in East Hartford? Is there any incentives? What do you have?
There would be, so we got to talk.
All right.
It's funny, our last meeting, I'm getting married on June 20th.
Congratulations, that's
So
great.
I might need to find a new venue now. But no, so listen, for me, it's once again, come connect with me, tell me what kind of space you're looking for, I'll get you connected with the right people, and we'll just follow our process to see what we can find for you. And, literally that, we're here to help, and we're here despite what you may know, what your experience may be, even if you don't have a business plan built out. I know you do. We are here to help you get that to being an actual business. So I just gotta know exactly what you're looking for, and we can find it. Just like we've been doing with the center, I'm just searching the area for what we have, and once we find something, we kind of just get you through the system.
Yeah, because we don't just do weddings, and in our community, there's a lot of funerals, a lot of other events.
Yep.
And I don't live here, but I'm always traveling here.
Sure.
So it will make sense
Yeah.
okay, we'll talk. Thank you.
It sounds like you gotta come back to East Hartford.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can absolutely work on that.
Last two.
Yes, good evening. I'm actually here representing Colors of Beauty right here on Burnside Avenue, inviting the community to come in where not just African clothing is provided, but you can learn how to wrap your head, you can learn African dance. There's even a photography studio inside if you want to go take traditional pictures in your traditional clothing. All that is available, and inviting the community to come in, learn, educate, and pass it on. Thank you.
If I could, too, just on that, if anyone in here is a business owner or has community events, send them to the town. We'll promote them. We'll put them on our social media, we'll put them on our website, we'll put them on our townwide newsletter. We want to be helpful. So like if you have community events that are benefiting East Hartford residents here at East Hartford, send me your stuff. We'll make sure we blast it out to the community as well. Anything that helps you. Did you? She bought that from you?
I got this from you after every horsewoman.
There we go, right there.
Honorable Mayor, I hear you talk retirement and all that. As some of us may know, every day we lose 22 veterans through suicide. I'm a combat veteran myself, so I know how it feels. So what do you have in place for our homeless veterans who we are losing each day? And not just this town or the whole United States. What do you have in place for those veterans?
So, can you say it one more time? You were breaking up a lot. I heard some of it.
All right. I was saying, sorry if I misquoted. You mentioned about a veteran way or retirement ceremony and all that you have vision for. And I was saying, what do you have in place for our homeless veterans and all the veterans who are addicted to all those, whatever we may call it out there? I'm a combat veteran myself, and I know how it feels, losing another body who's not next to me when we were doing what we have to do. What do you have in place? Because we all know, or some of us may know, we lose 22 veterans through suicide each day due to all this crazy stuff that they're inhaling and taking and being homeless and don't have a place to go. So what do you have in place for those veterans who are out there in the city or in town?
Yeah, no, and even in East Hartford, we have a little bit of an uptick in a homelessness problem and encampments that are popping up around town. And so we have a couple things. So when I was chief of staff, I served as the municipal veterans rep liaison to the VA. And so it was my responsibility to connect any veteran in town who was struggling with anything to the VA. And so that is now the position of my current chief of staff. In addition to that, speaking on homelessness, because getting people connected to the VA is not the easiest process sometimes, and the VA is not the most helpful sometimes, but they can be. But if you're homeless, regardless if you're a veteran or not, we have processes through our social services department that can assist and help get you into whether it be a shelter, a warming center, or permanent housing already. So that's a service that we already provide. We've been doing that. We've had a couple instances where we've had to relocate people because they became homeless in an instance notice because their heat went down or because a building failed or because people we've just identified out on the street. I will say our police department, I think, does an excellent job on not arresting homeless people, but getting them the help that they need and getting them connected with social services and help.
Leader to lead East Hartford. God bless you, and may God continue to support you in everything that you do. Very soon we're going to have something to eat, but because of the problem we had before, there's going to be a short presentation and then we take a break to go and have something to eat and continue later. So I'll give the microphone to my brother, Ben. Serving table by table because I'll start from the high table. So please, do you guys have a plate there or do you have to bring our plates? All right. So you take your plate, you go to Thank you.
I didn't catch the name. Right,
You know the name?
I don't.
You don't know the name? Wache. Say wache.
Wache?
Wache.
Wache.
Ah, that's delicious though.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Enjoy it. I want to see what Corner is gonna eat. What are you going to eat, Corner? What are you going to eat? What are you going to eat? Give him this. Give him this. Give him this one.
She looks skeptical.
You can take that home. That's wild corn. He can eat it. Okay, let him try watching. You want to try?
Give me a little more.
Watch it. That's nice. Try that. You ate jollof before, right? You ate jollof before, right? So try wache. Wache is delicious.
Okay.
Try that. Yeah.
Say wake? Wake. That is how it's original name is wake. No wake. Okay. It's an Hausa food, but the Africans call it wake. It's wake. All right. Thank you for teaching me. No, I'm saying. This is no fun.
Yeah.
Give me that no fun. I like.
And then I'll give you a little bit of extra cassava.
Oh, yes.
Made dried up cassava. And we add a little bit of cassava. Yuca.
Okay.
We added a little bit
What do we have there?
jollof rice, jollof.
Salad for me.
Oh, you don't want salad?
Too green for me.
Too good for you. Go eat. I'll come there and take you and ask you how you enjoy it.
You know it, right?
All right.
Yep, I'll be right on.
All right. Number 12 said that I'll go there. Then I'll also go there. But if I am busy, I didn't go to breakfast. Spinach stew and yam and plantain. Number 12 didn't worry. Asana. Oh, okay. Enjoy.
You coconuts, you say waiting. What do you have?
It's okay for me.
Ah, you're supposed to eat banku.
There's no banku over here.
Oh, they don't have banku. This is what? Gary fufu. Eba. Oh.
Kofobia champion him. The king of Kofobia champion all the way from Ghana. Giving African traditional dance. Naima, God bless you. You and your sister. And that much the second. Efia, God bless you. Nana Adumachi, she is the owner of Africa Colors of Beauty. All the African dresses that we see people wearing here, she has a big store, African store, on Benside Avenue, 529 Benside Avenue. A very beautiful African store over there. So if you need any African wear, t-shirt, dress, anything, contact Nana Hiba this year, August 10th. So whoever is interested, you need to save the date and go there, and it's going to be nice. There is also going to be February 17th. Yes. You know, Valentine's Day is coming, right?
We can't wait.
Yeah, there is a very huge African intimate night.
That's right.
Last year it was organized in East Hartford.
Yeah.
This year is going to Springfield, Massachusetts. We are rotating the location that it will be nice for everybody.
Yes.
You can take your wife, your girlfriend, your sister, your brother.
Your family.
You can go yourself.
Whoever you love.
Whoever you want to go with.
That's right.
And it's going to be dinner, dance, and everything.
Yes.
Couples or two people is $120.
Yes. It's cheap.
Single is $60.
It's cheap.
So if you are interested, see me for your card from here. All right. And I'll give the microphone to my sister as she continues the program with a few other announcements that she wants to make.
How was the food? Very great. Awesome. Very good. So, in Africa, most of us,
I've been here in the town for, like you said, long time, you know, and I know every corner of East Hartford. As it is, my kids were born here, raised here, and I have my business in East Hartford, the Accra Market, and then the Accra Mall, which I'm planning to bring it back to East Hartford from Manchester. Amen. Based on all what you said, if I can get a space, I will move back to East Hartford. But it's the best place. Well, my name is Apostle Cecilia, Dr. Cecilia Boama. As you all know, I've lived in East Hartford for a long time, and I have my businesses here. I have, when we first got here, we were just, all the Africans were just 24 Africans. And you count the number of people here. And we were so united, but we didn't know a lot of things. And since I've been in this town, and what I'm saying is, let us be part of what is going on in East Hartford. Unfortunately, I moved to Brook because of the taxes and other things going on in town. But I'm thinking about it. I'll move here. But my businesses are here, and I'm going to move my other business here. So what I'm trying to say is, it's a very good place to live, and let us be part of what is going on in East Hartford. So nobody's going to tell you until you fish out. I tell my people, you need to fish out. You need to do community labor, meetings. Go talk to them. They are human beings like us. The police, they are my friends. Because anytime I call them, they are there. I'm not afraid of them because I'm not doing anything bad. And I want to tell you,